right? So let's jump into crypto. All right, because we got to talk about this. We got to make sure you guys understand what's actually happening right now. So let me share my screen and let's start talking about this. Okay, you guys see this?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
So from what I've understood and what I've learned over the last couple of weeks since opening the university, because the way that I'm paying the affiliate marketers is through crypto. I found out that a lot of us don't have wallets set up. A lot of us don't really have money invested into it, don't understand really what's going on. That's an issue, and we're going to fix that because crypto is a space you have to be in the long term if you expect to be competitive and you want to be able to grow your money at the, let's call it the most exponential rate possible. Okay. So why is it important? So governments use money to control us. Okay. So we're just going to keep it super real right now. I don't care what country you're in, but if your country has a monetary system that is not backed by anything physical, meaning that they don't have a gold standard, meaning they have nothing to back that has value, nothing that's backing your currency, they're just printing money out of thin air. So if your government can print as much money as it wants out of thin air with nothing to back it, they control you. Okay. They control you because they can tax you. They control you because they make you have to work to make your money. They control you because they give you mortgages and they give you debts that you have to pay off with the money that they print. So that's control over the populace. That's control over the people of that country. So if your country controls you that in that way, you have issues if you want to be free. Okay. Now, if you don't want to be free and you don't want to be rich, okay, maybe you don't have any issues. But for me, for you guys that want to actually make money, that's a problem. Okay. Everything else has gone digital up until this point. Okay. Everything we do is digital today. Okay. Think about everything 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and how everything was on paper. Everybody mailed things. Everybody did everything was physical. As soon as the internet had hit, computers came around, etc., everything became digital. What's the last thing that is not fully digital yet? Money, cash. Okay. And it is going digital because now banks don't even necessarily, nobody really uses cash that much, but we use banks that just have numbers on a screen. But the point is money's going to go digital eventually too. And it has now with crypto. Okay. Crypto is decentralized and anonymous. Okay. So why is that important? So let me ask a question. So Alberto, or let me ask actually one of the new cats. Let's say Anthony Bauer, because I've been talking about it with him a little bit. So Anthony, what is being decentralized mean, and what is centralized? Why is that important?
Well, I think decentralized is it can't be controlled. It's kind of there's nobody like having their hands on it, I guess. And centralized would be like a controlled environment.
Exactly. That's the perfect definition. Okay. Decentralized means that there's nobody controlling that asset or that currency. Okay. So the monetary system in your country is centralized. Why is it centralized? Because the government controls it. Okay. People, not even the government. The government is just people. So people control it. People have biases. People have ill intention. People have good intention, but it's still people. And so the people who control the money in your country, they're going to do what? They're going to do things that benefit them, not you. Okay. So centralized currency has an inherent problem to it, which is the fact that it's controlled by humans. Crypto is decentralized. Okay. For the most part. Okay. There are some currencies that aren't decentralized. Some people control them, but Bitcoin is a decentralized cryptocurrency. So what does that mean? Nobody controls it. Nobody owns it. Nobody can decide whether or not it's worth this, that, etc. Right? Exactly. The price is dictated by the free market, and Bitcoin uses a concept called proof of work where everybody on the node, everybody on the system has to agree on what's happening on the blockchain. Okay. So that's what makes it decentralized, and it can be anonymous. So you can have crypto anonymously, and you can send it to people anonymously through your crypto wallets, through your crypto addresses. Okay. So these are advantages to this. Now, countries with failing currencies are adopting crypto. And this is another important thing to realize. Countries like El Salvador are adopting crypto, creating their own cryptos. Countries across the world are starting to adopt crypto. Why? Because their currencies are inflating to the point where the people can't even use it to buy things anymore. like in my mother's country. So my mother's from Venezuela. Okay. So this is giving you guys an example of how a government can destroy your country. In Venezuela, it was a prosperous country in the 80s and 90s. Okay. Rich in oil. Okay. Liquid gold. So the country's economy was booming and people in Venezuela were getting rich. Okay. You know what happened in the 2000s? The government fell and got taken over by a dictatorship. Okay. That dictatorship went ahead and started taking back all the assets from the people, taking back the private companies and making them state owned, and essentially made the place a communist country and destroyed the entire economy, destroyed all the free market, everything, decimated. Okay. So the joke now is in Venezuela, the currency that's there, the bolivar, is people, you see pictures with people with wheelbarrows full of money going to the market to try to buy fruit, but they need 10 million bolivars to buy a damn apple, right? You understand? Because they destroyed the currency. This is what happened. So what do you think people in Venezuela do? This is a real thing. Venezuelans, they play games like RuneScape, if you guys have ever heard of that, and they stake on RuneScape to make digital gold in the game, and they sell it for crypto. And they might sell it for $20 in crypto, USD, but for them, that's life-changing money. This is what's happening, right? So your government will destroy your currency if they want to, okay? So they're adopting crypto. This is what's going to happen. Now, crypto also transfers instantly, all right? Now, I know you guys want to be rich, right? You want to make a bunch of money. So this might not be a problem for you, but it is a problem for me, and it will be a problem for you down the road, okay? If I want to send a large sum of money, a bank, number one, controls whether or not I can send it. They can decide what I can do with my money, right? So they can decide whether or not I send that money, and it's going to take days before I can get that money to somebody else. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Whenever I wanted to invest into crypto a couple of months ago, I was putting a lot of money into it. So I would have to send a $25,000 minimum wire transfer onto a crypto exchange to be able to buy coins, right? So the reason I would send a wire that large is because I wanted to be instantly able to access my funds without it sitting on that crypto exchange. When I sent a wire through my bank, it would take 4 business days before it ever hit that crypto exchange. Okay, 4 days. And if you guys know anything about crypto, in 4 days, the market could have pumped up 3x. It could have dumped down 10x. It could have blown up, fucking the whole market could have blown up by the time I got the money into that crypto exchange, right? 4 days is way too long. With crypto, I could send you $25,000 right now and you have it in 3 seconds. No government to approve it, no bank to approve it, no fees attached. I could send you the 25 grand right now. I could send you $1 million right now. Take 3 seconds. So this is what I want you guys to start thinking like, because this is the way that I look at things. Where's the opportunity? Where are the inefficiencies and where can something act better? There's inefficiencies in current currency. Crypto solves those inefficiencies. That's the opportunity. So the people that adopt it now are going to be the ones who benefit in 10 years when eventually everybody else adopts it. This is the way you got to start looking at this kind of stuff. What's going to happen 10 years from now? Okay. Crypto's low fees. There's no exchange rates. Okay. So Ollie, I paid Ollie like 400 USD yesterday for doing some marketing, right? Ollie, how much do you have? How much were they taking? If you remember, I used to send Ollie USD through PayPal and it would convert it to British pounds for him to get the money, right? This is before I started paying him in crypto. How much money would you lose, Ollie, if I send you $100? You remember?
It was like £8-9. I don't know what that is, like $15.
Yeah, like $15. So just for me to send Ollie $100, he would instantly lose 15% of the value just because I sent it to him in USD and he wanted to get it in pounds. 15% of the value gone. Ollie, if I send you crypto now, how much of a fee does it take? A penny? A cent?
Nope.
Nothing.
Even.
Not even. So now imagine you do that with $100,000. You guys are in big business. You send $100,000. You just want $15,000 to disappear, right? Crypto doesn't have exchange rates. Ethereum is Ethereum. You send it, you have Ethereum. Cool. So this is the way you got to start looking at this kind of stuff. Now, the last thing I'm going to mention as well, this is what makes crypto so special. We were just talking about this before we opened up the meeting with you guys. You also have to understand what crypto is. it doubles as an asset that will go up in value as opposed to suffering from inflation. Okay. So, Bhuvnesh, what's inflation? What happens if your native country's currency is getting inflated? And you're in India, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, what's the currency in India? What do you guys use?
Actually, it's rupees.
Okay. So, over time, okay, if you had 100 rupees right now, in 5 years, would that 100 rupees be worth less or would it be worth more due to inflation?
It will be definitely worth less.
Worth less. If you held 100 rupees worth of Ethereum, okay, would that Ethereum be worth more in 5 years or less in 5 years?
From my own personal perspective, it will be worth more.
Yeah, and you're correct, right? So do you understand how powerful that is? So think about this.
Yeah, absolutely. In the very beginning of my career stage, I learned some tactics about trading, about day trading, intra trading, etc., etc. So yeah, from my own perspective, I can say cryptocurrency have really good potential in it.
Yeah, 100%.
Still.
And that's what makes it so special is because not only is it a currency now, but it operates the opposite from conventional currency. It doesn't inflate, it appreciates. It's an asset. It doubles as a currency and an asset, right? Does that make sense? So the normal U.S. stock market, okay, the U.S. stock market is the largest financial stock market in the entire world. So this is where most people do their trading across the world. I can't buy an Apple stock and then use Apple stock to buy and sell things. That's not how it works, right? Apple stock is not a currency, right? It's an asset. Crypto is both. It's an asset that will appreciate like a stock, but it's also a currency that can use to actively buy and sell things. So that's how powerful it is. You have to understand how powerful that is because just even from you earning money in crypto, not only have you just earned that dollar amount, but then you've now earned 2, 3, 4x over time on that money that you've made, right? That's huge. So you guys have to understand why it's so important to start getting it now. And I want to try to teach you guys this stuff because just this in and of itself, if you guys just are smart with crypto in 5 years, you're going to have plenty of money. Okay. So make it easy on yourselves. So how do you get into the game? Because a lot of us are not even in the game yet. You got to create a wallet. So I would recommend MetaMask. Okay. MetaMask is a Google Chrome extension that you can download and you're going to be able to create a crypto wallet on it. Now, in the classroom of the Taylor's Code, I have an entire course that I made for free. It's completely free. So if you haven't watched it yet, you're missing out on it. I literally link videos on every single thing you need to know to be able to, one, get started in crypto, and two, be able to start making money in it. Okay. So if you're not sure how to set up a MetaMask wallet, just go into that course that I made for you guys in the classroom, just start watching those videos and it's going to teach you. Okay. So you need to create a wallet so you can start getting crypto into your wallet. Okay. And if you guys have any questions at any point in time, just unmute and let me know. Okay. Because I want to make sure you guys understand how this works. So make a wallet. Number 2, you have to create an account. You don't have to, but if you want to buy crypto yourself, create an account on an exchange if you plan on investing using your native currency. Okay. So what do I mean by that? You would only get a crypto exchange if you guys are already making money and you want to buy crypto. Okay. Now, for example, Ollie, this is another reason why crypto is so powerful. Ollie is 16, right? So in the UK, he's not allowed to open up an account on a crypto exchange and buy crypto. It's not legal. Okay. But you know what he can do? He can create a crypto wallet that's anonymous, right? So they don't know who it is who has this wallet. He just made a wallet and then he can work and get paid in crypto. And there's a loophole. So what do? I just send him crypto. Now he doesn't have to be on an exchange. Does that make sense? Now, if you do want to invest your own money, obviously without working and earning in crypto, then you're going to have to open up an exchange account. If you're not in the US, use KuCoin, okay? KuCoin does not require KYC, okay? So now I want you guys to start thinking a little bit deeper on this. So you want to avoid KYC at all costs. In the United States, it's going to be very difficult to do this, okay? But if you're in other countries, you guys have the advantage of not having to go through KYC. So what's KYC? KYC stands for Know Your Customer. Okay. In the United States, they understand how powerful crypto is. they want to make sure that anybody that has crypto, they know exactly who they are. So in the US, to be able to open up an account on a crypto exchange, to be able to buy crypto, you have to provide your driver's license, social security number, all your identification information, so they know exactly who owns that account. In your countries, if you're not in the US, that's not a thing. Okay. So you want to remain anonymous if possible. So I would use KuCoin as your exchange. If you're in the United States, you could use a VPN or just use one of the normal exchanges. Okay. Does that make sense? You're going to have to create an exchange account. Okay. Now, for anybody that has no money yet, okay, because we want to make sure everybody at any kind of level can make money. If you don't have any money yet, make money in the Taylor's code, so then you can start to fund your crypto wallet from instead of purchasing money from purchasing crypto from an exchange. Okay, so for example, you got no money to invest right now. Okay, get with me, get with Logan, get with Bobby, get with Alberto, right? Do something to start earning cash, then you can start to fund your wallets. Once you can start to fund your wallets, then you can start to invest. Okay. So now let's get money into your wallets. Study the course I was just telling you about. Study the free course inside of the Taylor's Code if you guys need to know anything past what we just talked about on this page. Okay. So I know I've been given a ton of information so far. Anything you guys have questions on, things you want to comment on, things you want to ask real quick before I go to the next slide?
Okay, I have a question. How much do you think is a decent number to start investing in crypto?
So that's a good question because it's relative, obviously, to your situation. So here's how I would look at it. It's important to have money in crypto. So any amount is enough, okay? But for it to be substantial, obviously, this is why the rich get richer. The more money that you have invested, the more money that you're going to make, okay? So I wouldn't say there's a minimum number you should have to invest. But if you don't have a ton of money to invest right now, don't put it in a bunch of bullshit meme coins and start gambling and just doing shit that's going to lose you your money. Just start building up a Bitcoin and an Ethereum balance. Even if it's, I'm just giving an example. Even if it's $10 a week, $50 a week, it's worth it, because instead of just letting that money sit in your native currency, it's going to appreciate in those assets. So you may as well put it in. Does that make sense? So there's no minimum, but you want to definitely get as much in as humanly possible quickly so that you guys can observe multiple X's. Okay. Yeah. Just like Logan said, a vast majority of my net worth is definitely in crypto. Why? Because I understand what's going to happen to it. Okay. So, and I'll give you guys a quick example. This is how you guys have to start thinking about money. This is why you don't want to gamble in crypto. And I don't want you guys, and I'm going to teach you the right way to do this, the way me and Logan and Bobby are doing it. You don't want to get into the mindset of gambling on meme coins and a bunch of bullshit cryptos, because that stuff exists on this hope that you can turn $100 into 100,000. That's a brokey mentality. Okay. We're not here to gamble. We're here to make money. Okay. So the idea is you want to try to get a 2, 3, 5, 10x would be fantastic on your money. So what does that mean? So if you have $1,000 invested, you want to try to turn that 1,000 into 10,000. That's a fire play. That's a good play. Okay. But here's the thing though. The reason you guys got to focus on first scaling your income is because, well, yeah, 1,000, 10x is 10,000. But if you could have put 10,000 in and you got that same 10x, 10,000, 10x is what? How much money? Does anybody know?
100,000.
It's 100,000. Okay. So instead of making $9,000, you just made $90,000 just because you had more money. So this is why the rich get richer. Okay. So you got to focus on first increasing your income. Okay. Increase your income, get some money in crypto, increase your income, and then get to the point where you can invest significant amount of money. So then you can get significant returns on that money. Okay. Does that make sense? So anyways, cool. Any other questions? Okay. This is very important to remember. All right. Some of you may have heard this before, but I want to make sure it's very clear. One of the major issues, though, with crypto is that it is a zero-sum game. So if you plan on operating within the crypto space on a day-to-day basis, actually trying to invest and trade and do shit like that, instead of just holding an asset over time, you have to remember it's a zero-sum game. So what does that mean? I'll put it out to the board. Does anybody know what a zero-sum game is? What does it mean to be zero-sum? What's going on, Bauer? Go for it.
Oh, I was going to answer it. So it means for you to make money, someone else has to lose money.
Exactly. Okay. There's only ever going to be as much money in crypto as gets put in by people. Does that make sense? So you don't ever create any more money in crypto, right? However much people invest into crypto, their own money, that's how much money exists within crypto. So in order for you to make money, you would have had to have taken the money away from somebody else. Does that make sense? That's what a zero-sum game is. Okay, so crypto is a zero-sum game. If me and Logan both put $1,000 into crypto, and let's just say it's just our money, we both put $1,000 into crypto. For me to be able to pull out $1,500 and make $500, Logan would have to be able to only take out $500. He would have lost $500. For me to make $500, he had to lose $500. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, let me know, because this is really important to understand. So it's a zero-sum game. Nobody can make money without somebody else losing money. Okay. So when you understand that, now you understand it's a competition. It is competing. So how are you going to be able to compete? Well, you have to understand how this stuff works better than other people in the game. Okay. So what they say in crypto is the people who are in crypto, we call people who don't know how it works or not in the market or just getting into the market, we call them normies. Okay. The normal people, normies. Okay. The normies are the one who provide us with exit liquidity. They're the ones who give us their money so we can go ahead and cash out our bags. Okay. You don't want to be the normie. You don't want to be somebody else's exit liquidity. You don't want to be the person putting your money into the market whenever it's at its peak. And then as soon as you bought, price starts going down. And now you lost money because everybody else is taking their profits. Okay. So you have to be competitive in the game. So once you understand that, now you're going to understand that you got to learn how the shit works if you plan on making money. Okay. So don't just expect to throw your money in there and wake up one day and have a bunch of money, unless you bought Ethereum or Bitcoin. If you buy Ethereum or Bitcoin, yeah, you can wake up in 5 years, you'll have more money. It's fine. But the idea is you got to understand how the shit works. Okay. So there's 4 different ways you guys can make money in crypto. Okay. Because now it's about how we're going to make money. The first way and the most common way people make money is going to be to buy low, sell high. Okay. So it's a very simple investing. This is just how all investing works. The idea is you buy low. Okay. So you buy an asset whenever people don't want it that much. So you buy when it's not costs a lot of money. Yeah. Like a great value. Like Tacumbo said, you buy low, then more people want what you have. So the price goes up and then you sell it for more than what you bought it for. So you made a profit. Okay. Now, this is what normies essentially try to do. That's the only way they know how to make money in crypto. Okay. Try to buy low, sell high. Here's the problem with that mentality. If you're somebody who wants to buy low, sell high, but you're not actually involved and understand what's going on in the crypto market, what's going to happen? The only time you're going to hear about something that's going to make you want to buy is when everybody else is hearing about it. So by the time you learn about something that you want, you're going to buy it already when it's high. And so you've already made a mistake, right? You've bought it now whenever everybody else wants it. Does that make sense? This is the most difficult part about crypto and just normal investing is you have to understand you have to buy things when they're not sexy. Okay. If you buy when it's sexy and when everybody else wants it, you're making a mistake. That means you're buying it at the peak. Okay. You have to learn how to buy things when nobody wants them and have the foresight to understand that in a year, though, I know people are going to want this more. So I'm going to buy it now whenever nobody wants it. Does that make sense? That's foresight. That's vision. You have to know where something's going to be, not be the person that uses your site and sees it where it's at right now. You have to have the vision. Where is it going to be at in 5 years? So this is why we're so invested in crypto right now, because I know in 5 years where it will be, in 10 years where it will be. That's why we're buying it now. Does that make sense? Go for it, Logan. What's up?
Yeah, I was going to say something that I know we've talked about before too, whenever it comes to the whole buy low, sell high. Whenever Priamo and myself are investing into crypto, we're investing with a specific plan in place. So we're not putting this money in, and if it dips a little bit, we need to pull this money out to pay our rent or to pay for groceries or to put gas in the car. That's all the people that are going to be constantly gambling and losing money in the crypto market that are allowing us to make the money. Is you need to be investing money into the crypto market, not only that you can afford to lose, but that you can afford to live without, and you can afford to leave it in there and allow it to do what you expect it to do. So whenever people are getting in, there's so much money in the crypto market that people put in. They expect it to go up real quick and then they can cash it out in a week. Whenever their plan doesn't go, as it should, they end up, they see a dip a little bit. They're like, oh God, I can't lose that money. I need to get out. And then they end up cashing out for 20, 30, 40, 50% loss. Me and Priamo are still just riding it down, and then it's going to come back up. So just make sure, if you guys are getting into stuff, it's money you can afford to lose, and it's money you can afford to leave in there and allow yourself to make the money you're going to. It's just something I know we've talked about a lot, Pri.
That's such a great point. Such a great point. Because correct. That's why people like myself, Logan, Bobby, et cetera, can be competitive in crypto, is because we're in a position where we can allow for losses to happen before the gains come. It's happened so much to people is they'll start to invest. They see it start to dump. They're losing money. Bang, I'm cashing out. I'm out. Sold, sell. Guys like me and Logan, cool. We'll just buy some more, take some more of yours, take some more of yours, goes back up. You understand? So this is the competition. Yes, don't cheat your bags. Do not learn from us. I'm telling you, learn from us. Do not sell your bags, okay, too early. You'll know, and we'll tell you when it's time to sell, okay? We'll tell you. So buy low, sell high. It's for normies, okay? That's what most people will try to do, but they're going to fail at it because obviously they're not going to know what to buy before it's time to buy, okay? Or before it's time to sell. Provide liquidity is another option to make money in crypto. Okay. So what's providing liquidity? So I'm going to teach you something really revolutionary, you can say, in the crypto space that happened over the last couple of years. So what's providing liquidity? So the whole point of being in crypto is that it's supposed to be decentralized. Okay. So it's supposed to be without the control of government or people. The only issue with that was whenever crypto exchanges came around, a crypto exchange typically is a centralized entity, which is a problem. It's owned by people. It's ran by people. So it's subjective. They could ban you. They could hold your money if they wanted to. They could not let you send it off the platform. They can control your assets. Okay. So what was the solution to this? They had to make decentralized exchanges. Okay. A DEX, a decentralized exchange, so that people could go get assets, buy crypto without actually having it run or controlled by any entity or any person. Okay. So what's a decentralized exchange? A decentralized exchange is just a liquidity pool. Okay. So it's an LP. Now I don't teach it, but there's a video in the course that I made that teaches you exactly how liquidity pools work. This is an important concept to understand. Okay. So what's a liquidity pool? I'm going to give you a basic explanation. Okay. A liquidity pool is a pool of money, is how you want to look at it. Okay. So it's just a big pool of money. Okay. And there's always going to be two assets in that liquidity pool. Okay. Two assets. So let's say Bitcoin and Ethereum are the two assets within this liquidity pool. Okay. So it's a pool of money and there's half Bitcoin, half Ethereum. Okay. So they always have to maintain within this liquidity pool a 50-50 ratio of value between the two assets. So it needs to be an equal value of Bitcoin to an equal value of Ethereum within this liquidity pool. Does that make sense? They're going to be congruent, 50-50 each. Okay. So why do they create liquidity pools? Liquidity pools are ran by an algorithm that will automatically determine the price of each asset within the pool. Okay. So here's a real world example. So let's say Ollie has a bunch of apples. Okay. And these are back in the times when we had to barter. We didn't have cash. So Ollie lives in a town who produces a shit ton of apples. They make the best fucking apples in the world, and I want Ollie's apples. Okay, I don't got apples like Ollie in my village. Okay, I want apples. Well, how do I get apples? I don't have apples to trade him for. Well, my town, we specialize in oranges. We have the most fantastic citrus fruits in the world. Okay, we make fantastic oranges. Ollie wants my oranges. Okay, here's the issue: apples and oranges are two different assets. They're two different things. Okay. So how are we going to fairly trade these assets with each other? Well, me and Ollie say, all right, you bring 100 apples, I'll bring 100 oranges, and we're going to both put 100 of our assets into this liquidity pool. So now what we can do is anytime Ollie wants oranges, he can come, he can deposit some apples, and then he can take out some oranges. And if I want apples, I can show up to this liquidity pool and I can put some of my oranges in there so then I can take out some of Ollie's apples. Does that make sense? So in order to get something out of this pool, I have to provide something of equal value in return. Okay. So this is how a liquidity pool works. All right. I know we're starting to get a little confusing, but makes sense, right? Good analogy. So here's how it works now. So here's how the price will fluctuate within a liquidity pool. Okay. So if Ollie, right, we started at the beginning, we have 100 oranges, 100 apples. If Ollie comes and he wants to take my oranges, he's going to put in 10 apples and he can now take out 10 oranges, correct? Okay, that's fine. Makes sense. But now there's 110 apples in the liquidity pool and there's only 90 oranges left. So now for the next transaction that somebody wants to make out of this liquidity pool, what do you think happened to the price of my oranges? There's 90 oranges compared to 110 apples. So what happened to the price of oranges now? It went up because they have to maintain an equal value to each other. So if there's only 90 oranges now and there's 110 apples, those 90 oranges, each orange has to cost more to equal the value of those 110 apples. Does that make sense? That is exactly how a liquidity pool works. So as people take one asset out, the algorithm automatically adjusts the value of the other asset to keep the pool congruent. Okay. This is how it's decentralized because nobody controls it now. It's just a pool of money that people can come into it. They can take and put in whatever they want. And as people are making those trades, the pool is self-regulating. The algorithm is determining the price of each asset and people just keep trading. Boom, 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 boom. And it will never deplete because there's always going to be an equal exchange. For me to take something out, I have to put equal back in. Make sense? Okay, so this is how a decentralized exchange works. This is what people want because now you're truly free. Now, nobody knows who you are with the money. You can go get money whenever you want without people knowing, and it's all decentralized. Nobody controls it. Okay, it's an algorithm. Okay, fine. I explain all that why. Okay, well, here's how we make money. You can provide liquidity to these liquidity pools and earn fees off of people using that liquidity pool. Okay. So I'll give you one last analogy to understand how you got to think about money. In the United States, in the 1800s, we had a thing called the gold rush. Okay. People in the US are familiar with that. If you're not in the US, it's the gold rush. Okay. The gold rush was a time period in the United States where the western side of the country had not been completely, let's call it, mapped out, settled in, etc. It was a new part of the country. People were starting to move out west to start to settle the western side of the country. The reason people started running to the western side of the United States is because they heard about the gold rush. People started discovering gold in the West, and people were striking it rich off of gold. So what happened was a ton of people who thought, shit, I want to get rich off of gold too, started running out west and started looking for gold. Okay. So that's the scenario. Now listen to this. Do you know who the people who got the richest off of the gold rush were? Who actually got the richest off of the gold rush? I'll let somebody try to take a guess.
Who sells the shovel?
Bhuvnesh. Bhuvnesh got it.
He got it.
Did you hear what Bhuvnesh said? Go say it one
Shovel.
more time. Who got the
Shovel.
richest?
Who sells the shovels?
The people that sold the shovels and the pails got the richest during the gold rush. They were making money off of the people who were going for a dream. Okay. There was no guarantee that you were going to find gold if you went out west. But there was a guarantee that there was a whole lot of people going out west that needed shovels and pails to be able to find that gold. So you know who got rich? The people who sold the tools for the people to go hopefully make some money. I want to operate in absolutes. So you know what providing liquidity to a liquidity pool is? I'm selling the shovels. I'm selling the tools. Because by me providing liquidity into a liquidity pool, this is how you make money, right? So I'm going to take my money and my assets, and I'm going to take 100 apples, 100 oranges, and I'm going to throw that into the liquidity pool, right? To let people trade in there. But me, to allow you guys to be able to trade my 100 apples and my 100 oranges, I'm going to take a little fee every single time you guys go ahead and take something out of the liquidity pool. I'm going to charge you a little fee. Okay. Every single time you use it, I'm making fees. I'm making money. I'm making money. I'm making money. My money's just sitting in there. I'm not doing anything with it. But as you guys are using my liquidity pool, I'm making money. Fees. Excuse me. So I'm guaranteed to make money no matter what. Whether your asset goes up, whether your asset goes down, doesn't matter. My money stays the same because my money is always going to be congruent. Okay. And I'm making fees the whole time you guys are using the pool. That's how you make money in crypto. Okay. Liquidity pools. That's one thing that I have. That's one thing that Logan has as well. Okay. Now, obviously, to be able to provide liquidity, you're going to have more money, right? Because you can't provide $500 worth of liquidity. It doesn't mean anything to anybody. But if you can provide 50,000, 100,000, $500,000 liquidity, that's worth a lot of money. Okay. So does that make sense? How you can make money off of liquidity pools? That's the idea. So how do we make money in smart ways? Okay. Cool. I'm giving you guys fucking fire game right now. I hope you understand. I'm giving you fire. Because once you start seeing how this shit works and what you can make off of this, you'll understand. Because nobody's going to teach you this. Okay. You can also stake assets in cryptocurrency. Okay. This is really quick. This is pretty simple. Staking an asset is just you basically locking up some of your currency so that it can't be traded. And for you doing that, the whole idea of staking an asset is it's supposed to stabilize the price action of that token. Okay. So if you get a lot of people to stake an asset, what that means is they can't sell it. It's staked. It's locked up. Okay. They have it held for you. And because you can't sell it, well, then obviously whenever people see the market start to fluctuate, let's say the market fluctuates down 10%. Okay. Typically, if you would see the market fluctuate down 10%, people get scared and nervous, and then they start to sell more, and it provides more selling pressure. So as the market starts to go down a little bit, other people start to force it down even further. Well, if you have a lot of people who've staked their asset and have it locked up so they can't sell it, anytime one of those dips happen, it's going to be less pronounced. It's going to be less volatile because a bunch of people can't just go ahead and continue to jeet their bags. Does that make sense? So they do that to try to secure the blockchain and secure the asset. So what's the incentive for people to do that? Well, they're going to go ahead and provide you an interest on the money that you have staked. Okay. So why is that important? Well, if you have an asset that you think is going to appreciate over time anyways, and you're not going to sell it anytime soon, it's worthwhile for you to stake it because then you can earn an additional 5-10% on that currency and just continue to collect more money just for having your money sit there. So if you're going to have it sit regardless, you may as well stake it. Does that make sense? It's essentially a super high interest savings account. That makes sense. Okay. So staking assets is another way to make money. I would only do that with, again, like I said, currencies that long term, are all going to appreciate. So something you're not trying to sell immediately, which would be like a Bitcoin or an Ethereum. Those are the only assets I would really stake. Okay. Make sense? Stuff that is not going to go to zero. Last thing. It's probably going to be the most difficult thing for anybody to do immediately, but it is a way to make a shit ton of money. Me and Logan know somebody who's obviously made over $1 million just off of this alone. Launching projects and doing seed round investing. Okay. So to launch a crypto project, you have to have a couple of different things. Okay. One, you have to know how to launch a project. Okay. So that obviously is in it. So you have to be able to create the token, which is pretty simple. You guys can look up how to do this. You can create a token. You got to be able to market that token, and then you got to be able to provide liquidity for that token. Okay. So for somebody to be able to buy your token that you've created, you have to make a liquidity pool with 50% of that token that you invented and 50% of a Bitcoin or an Ethereum, something that everybody has. Okay. So to even launch a crypto project, you got to already have $50,000, $100,000 worth of liquidity to be able to put up front into a liquidity pool for people to even trade your asset. Okay. So you got to have a lot of money to do this in the first place. But anyways, the point that I'm making with launching a project, the reason you can make a shit ton of money on this, me and Logan did this not too long ago, right? With Moonbase. But basically, if you know the right people, or if you guys get good at doing something like this is where connections is very important. So when you launch a crypto project, you create the token yourself, right? And so when you create the token, you own the entire token supply. All right. So what you can do is you can use how much have to get to do this? To launch your own project, I mean, you're gonna have to have at least 100 grand, I would say, liquid, because the thing is you have to be able to provide liquidity for people to be able to trade your asset. And if you can't do that, you can't launch a token. Does that make sense? Yes, exactly. That's what I was actually about to get into. Correct. Alfred, does that make sense what I'm saying? Yes, no?
Yes, a lot of sense. I just want to know, like, I'm pretty sure everybody want to know how much will the starting price to do that.
Yeah, so if you wanted to launch the project yourself, yeah, you would need a lot of money to provide liquidity for other people to be able to trade your asset, right? So for other people to buy your coin, they got to be able to put in an asset that already has value. So you would have to pool. So it's called pooling. Let's say you create the Alfred coin. Okay. So Alfred just created Alfred coin. Okay. He's going to sell it to the public. He's trying to get this price to pump. So Alfred will put the entire supply of his Alfred coin into a liquidity pool, and then he has to match 50% value on the right-hand side. So he's going to have to pool it with Ethereum, let's say. So you would have to put $100,000 worth of Ethereum on the right-hand side to match the 100,000 of Alfred coin that you have, right? I'd buy it too, for sure. But does that make sense? Now, if you don't want to launch the project yourself and know people who do, like me and Logan had, then they do all that stuff. You just got to know to buy it before they launch it. So what happened was me and Logan were in a pre-sale. Okay. This is how you start to make the stupid money in crypto that nobody knows about. So now if you know somebody who's creating projects and they're launching tokens themselves, what we were able to do is we were able to get into a pre-sale. So what we did is before they launched the token, me and Logan bought this token in the pre-sale at a fixed price. So $750 was the maximum contribution per wallet. So we did multiple wallets each. Okay. So we could do more than $750. So we bought this coin at pre-sale. Fantastic. Now it's sitting in our wallets. Then the gentleman who created the coin created a liquidity pool, and he launched the token on Dex Tools. Dex Tools is a famous software that people use to be able to trade, meme coins. Okay. So he launched the project on Dex Tools. Now it's open to the public. Me and Logan already owned this asset before the public was able to buy it. Okay. Great. What happened immediately as it launched? It fucking pumped. Okay. So it launched at, let's just call it a penny, right? And then after the first couple of days, it was already at, let's just give an arbitrary number, 15 cents, let's say 20 cents, 20x. Okay. So just from me and Logan buying this token at the pre-sale value, within a few days made a 20x on our money. Okay. So if you sell it now, boom, you just got paid. See how that works? So you launch it, people buy it, it raises the price. And this is why this is a zero-sum game, because now other people had bought this asset. They put their money into this token. Me and Logan just went and took their money, went profit, right? Now it's nothing, unethical about it. It's just how it works. They bought it, price went up, people kept buying it, price was up here, and then we just sold it for more than what we bought it for, right? That's how the game works. So yeah, I mean, exactly. It was nice, quick, 10, 15, 20. That's how people flip their shit quick like that. Make it quick. Okay. Go ahead, Bobby. What's up?
Yeah, I just want to touch on that. And something that new traders will do is they'll act off of emotion. And if say they bought a coin, like you said, they see it just went live, it's pumping to the top. You can't be emotional when you're buying stuff like, oh, I'm gonna make my first $1,000 in crypto. You see it pumping. Okay, well, the guys who did buy a pre-sale are watching the chart too. And when they see it's gonna go up, they're gonna take their profits and they're gonna, it's gonna always retrace. So something you have to be cognizant of is that this is it's people working with people, it's emotions. People are going to get emotional when they lose some money, and like Logan said before, they're going to cash out the jeets, they're going to take a loss and move on to the next coin. But it's important not to get emotional over your money in this. Like Priamo said, it's like you have to put in the money that you're willing to lose, or money, it's just that you could spare to put into the market, and you can't be emotional about it. You can't, when you see red, you can't just go and sell, because things fluctuate in this market. And really what the candles are is a visual representation of people's emotions. People are going to get excited at the top, and they're going to want to take their money. And then that is the red candles coming down, is people selling. And then the green candles are people getting excited again, buying back into the project. So just a quick tip I wanted to give: don't get emotional over this. It's not an emotional game. It's a money, it's business, no emotions involved.
Exactly. And those are always going to be the best people in business, the best people in sales, the best people in trading, the best people in business are always the people who understand it's not emotional. It's just numbers on a screen. Okay. If it makes money, it makes sense. Don't get emotional about the shit. Okay. And obviously, the good thing about you guys is you're connected with us, so we'll just give you the plays because we know what the shit is. So fortunately, you get to skip all the tragedy that is involved with this. Now, obviously, it's not always going to work out 100%, but the idea is just business. It's business. Okay. Don't get emotional about it. And that should be I believe the last. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's the last portion of the presentation. So again, the whole point of that was just to give you an idea of the way that we think about shit, the why it makes sense. Because in order to make money, you have to understand where things are going to be at in the future. Okay, so any questions on that? Things you guys want to talk about? Like anything, doesn't matter. It could be even question unrelated to crypto, etc. But go for it if anybody has any questions. Good. What's up, Bauer?
For setting up a MetaMask portfolio, MetaMask account, I know whenever I was setting mine up, I had a little bit of trouble with it. Has anyone tried to set up a MetaMask account and not been able to do it? Does anyone feel like they would need help setting up a KuCoin account or setting up a MetaMask account? I just know that was something we talked about right at the beginning. Or if anyone does, definitely reach out to me or Priamo. We can definitely help you get your account all set up.
Cool. And then if you guys need your wallets funded, like I said, get with me, get with whatever, anybody, any professor that you need, and start making money so you can start putting it into the market. Okay. So if you're starting from scratch, hit me up with affiliate marketing. If you guys have some money put away, you guys are able to do your thing, boom, get with Logan, get with Alberto, get with Robert. Do what you got to do, fund the accounts, and then start investing. Okay. Because I'm telling you guys, this shit is about to blow up over the next couple of months. Just some context for you. The United States is the largest investor into the cryptocurrency market. Okay. So the context of what's going on in the United States is presidential election is coming up in a couple of months. Okay. The candidate that's going to win is super, super pro crypto. Okay. So what do you think is going to happen whenever a pro crypto president wins? The market's going to fucking blow up. Second piece of context. The legacy markets, the traditional markets in the United States right now are also going into all-time highs. That is the traditional stock market. Okay. So all the traditional stocks in the United States, the biggest global stock exchange, is at all-time highs. What happens whenever the US stock market hits all-time highs? Crypto follows suits and goes into a bull run. Okay. So this is the context in which we're operating in right now. So you want to get as much as you can right now before this bull market really starts taking off and your money's going to start multiplying big time. Okay. That's the context that we're in right now. So cool. Outside of that, yeah, go ahead, Bauer.
I was going to say, do you want to mention too what happened on previous bull runs with SHIB and Dogecoin? Just so they have a little bit of context as far as what the potential is with Brett and why we keep saying these numbers.
Great point. So you guys always see us posting about Brett in the Taylor's code. Okay. So this is the one meme coin that we're actually putting out there to everybody, because this one we know for sure it's not like going to fucking go to zero. It's a legitimate play. Dogecoin is the largest meme coin in crypto. Okay. At its peak, it hit an $80 billion market cap in the last bull run. Okay. $80 billion market cap. Okay. Right now, Brett, the coin that we keep talking about, this is the biggest, by far biggest meme coin bag that I have. Brett is at a $1.5 billion market cap. Okay. 1.5 billion. Okay. Doge hit 80 billion years ago. Okay. If Brett goes to $80 billion and just matches what Doge had done in the past, which is super possible, it's not in 80x, but it's close to an 80x, a 60x. Okay. So if you have $1,000 in Brett right now, if you buy $1,000 worth of Brett and it goes to 80 billion, you will have $60,000. Okay. So you would have turned $1,000 into $60,000. Okay. If Brett goes to, yeah, exactly. I'll tell you guys right now, if Brett goes to even a $50 billion market cap, 50 billion, which is like probably going to happen for sure. Probably for sure going to happen. If Brett goes to a $50 billion market cap, I will have well over, I'll have millions of dollars in Brett alone. Okay. So that's the potential that's going to, with that coin. Okay. And why is that so important? Why Brett? The last piece of context I'll give you is Brett is the largest market cap coin on the base ecosystem. I know I'm going deep with you guys. You're going to learn this if you watch that course I put for you guys there in the classroom that will teach you all this shit. Base is it's a layer 2 blockchain on top of Ethereum. Okay. It's made by Coinbase. Coinbase is the largest crypto exchange in the United States. Okay. Coinbase is going to onboard 1 billion users, they said. 1 billion. Now, they probably won't do 1 billion, but let's just say they get close. They're going to onboard 1 billion users onto the base blockchain using the Coinbase wallet, all this kind of shit. Well, what happens whenever a shit ton of new people get onto a blockchain and start investing all their money into the blockchain? They're going to put it onto the largest meme coin on the blockchain, the largest coin on the blockchain, which is Brett. So Brett's going to get a shit ton of liquidity over the next year. And as that liquidity pours into the base ecosystem, it's going to pump the price. And that's when everybody like us who bought Brett before it was sexy get rich. Okay. Now you understand, right? So that's the context behind Brett. And I've already hit 2-3x on Brett. So I've already made plenty of money on it. What's up, Bobby?
Yeah, so I just want to touch on, so this is a newer technology. This is, this is still evolving. This is still going to grow over the next 10 years. So what I wanted to say is that you're going to have opportunities for these coins that come up like Brett and stuff, but it's important to do your research. One thing that I've been doing, and I found it super helpful, is a lot of these newer coins and a lot of these projects, they use Telegram groups where there's active administrators in the groups. There's people who are buying into the coin, and they're in there. You could actually see the people who are investing into the community and investing into the coins, and you could make your own judgment from there. You might not like the coin per se and move on to the next one, but it's important to do your own research, and it's important to know what you're investing your money in.
Agreed. Yeah. You don't necessarily want to take anybody's word for gospel. Do your own research. Decide for yourself if Brett is worth it. Right. And if you can convince yourself that it is worth it and you're bought into it, then yeah, absolutely go for it. Right. Okay. I'm done. Alberto's got some fucking heat for you guys real quick on the wholesale real estate. He's going to do his introduction, do his thing real quick. Hopefully you guys got a ton of value from that. Like I said, we're going to start just throwing you all the juice and just continue to evolve your money-making capabilities. Okay. The more avenues you have, the more versatile you can be. Obviously focus on your main stream of income, develop that stream of income, and then use other avenues. Okay. Boom. Awesome.